Hi, I'm Shauna Sever, and today I am making a chocolate flecked angel food cake using my Kenmore Elite OVATION stand mixer, which makes all the steps even simpler. So we're gonna start actually with our eggs, and with the mixer I have an egg separator. So I've got 12 eggs here, which I know seems like a lot. So you just start by cracking your eggs one at a time into the egg separator, and see how the yolk stays in the separator, the white just drops right through into the bowl. Beautiful. And then I'm going to add just a couple extra ingredients to help stabilize my egg whites. I've got some cream of tartar, which can go right in the top, and a little bit of salt. So now that I've got those in, I can get my egg whites whipping. You want to let them whip on medium-high speed until they reach a soft peak, and then we'll start to add the sugar. Okay, so this has been going for about 3 minutes on medium-high. We want a nice soft peak. Now I can add in the sugar using the pour in top design. I can have the egg white whipping while I'm adding the sugar to it. You want to let it continue to beat until you get a nice stiff glossy peak. So let's take a look, and that's what we want. See how it's holding its shape inside the bowl like that? That's absolutely perfect. So now what I'm going to do is put the mixer on low speed. I'm going to beat in a little bit of vanilla extract, and then I'm very slowly going to add my cake flour and sugar mixtures. So we put half of our sugar into the egg whites, and then we've got half that we've whisked with some cake flour, and that'll get gradually added very gently. We'll let that fold into the batter. All right, now that all of our cake flour and remaining sugar is added, this is the secret ingredient that makes this cake really special. It's actually unsweetened chocolate, which seems kind of surprising, but when you consider that an angel food cake is actually really sweet, it's a nice sort of bitter note that really balances the cake out well. So I've got my unsweetened chocolate right here. I'm using my grater accessory so I can actually grate the chocolate right into the batter. It makes it so easy. Now that all of our chocolate has been grated on top of the batter, we can just start this for just about 30 seconds or so to let the chocolate mix into the rest of the cake batter. Perfect. You don't want to overmix at this stage. You don't want to knock a whole lot of air out of the batter. I'm going to take the bowl off. During this whole process, I've had my oven preheating to 350 degrees, and now I have to grab my angel food cake pan. This is what an angel food cake pan looks like. It has a removable bottom, which will make unmolding the cake really easy, and it has these feet on it. And the reason it has these feet is because with an angel food cake, in order to keep its nice height after it comes out of the oven, you have to invert it while it cools. You actually cool it upside down. And also, do not grease your pan. I know it seems sort of opposite of everything we've ever learned about cake making, but in the case of an angel food cake, you really want the batter to climb up the sides of the pan. So if you grease it, it won't do that. So leave your pan ungreased. And then with all of this gorgeous batter, of which there is a ton, isn't this amazing how much 12 egg whites can actually come to be when you get some great air into them with a great machine? It looks amazing. All the batter's in here. All right, so like I said, 350 degrees, and this doesn't take that long to bake either. For such a big cake, you'd think it would be a long bake time, but it's really just about 30 or 35 minutes depending on your oven. Beautiful. Okay, so our cake has been baking for about 35 minutes. Now the trick with an angel food cake, remember the feet that we talked about on the pan? That's because an angel food cake cools upside down. So we're gonna let this cool inverted like this for about an hour until the pan is completely cool, and then we can slice it and serve it. Our chocolate flecked angel food cake is completely cooled, and I'm gonna show you how to get it out of the pan. We're gonna start by loosening the cake from the edge of the pan and just work all the way around. We can use that removable bottom to, ta-da! Pretty easy, right? Now we're gonna go back with our offset spatula again and get right between the cake, and just like we did with the sides, except now we're trying to get it completely underneath the cake. I can feel the cake is nice and loosened from the core. And you can either lift it out and serve this as the top if you like, or you can just invert it onto the cake stand, like so. So let me show you what this looks like. Now remember, we have all of those flecks of unsweetened chocolate in here in the batter. This is my chocolate flecked angel food cake, perfect dessert for any time of year, and it's made really fun and super easy with the Kenmore Elite OVATION stand mixer.